B58 oil change, step 1. Start car and let it idle so the oil can warm up so it will drain easier. Let it idle for about 2 minutes. For this oil change, I'm going to be using BMW twin power turbo 0W20 oil. It's important to note that these are 1 liters, which is 1.05 quarts. From what I've researched, it shows that this engine needs 6.5 liters, so I'm gonna do 6.5 of these. I have a BMW OEM filter with the new crush washer and O-ring. I'm gonna use that funnel to fill. You need a 17 millimeter. You can use an extension like this or not. So you need an extension, 32 millimeter socket, and a torque wrench, and some towels, a couple things to drain the oil in, and I've got a jack stand and a jack on each side of the car. And let's go ahead and get started. All right, under the car here, guys, so there's a little panel right here with a little flathead piece that you just turn that little knob right here, and then you can pull this down. There's your 17 millimeter bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my socket here and get that baby undone and start draining the oil. Alright, so as you can see, the oil is now draining. It's draining very slowly because the oil cap is still on. They're gonna come up here, lift this engine cover off. Probably wanna use 2 hands. Set that aside. Now we're gonna take off the oil cap so it can drain properly. You can hear, I heard air open up down there, so I'm gonna get back down here. And now it's flowing quick, really quick. So I'm gonna pause this, that's about full, and I'm gonna switch out the pan to the other one. All right, guys, for the oil filter, you wanna look right down in here on your engine. I had to come up with a different tool because I didn't have a 3/4 inch wobbly, so I used this small socket wrench with a wobbly, okay? So I got the 32 millimeter socket on there. I've got some rags tucked around the oil filter housing just in case some oil comes out of there. I don't want it to run down the engine, okay? I've been loosening this. Be patient with it, because it does take a bit. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish getting this off, and I'll pull out the filter, and then we'll move forward. Looks like it's just about done here. All right, I'm gonna probably have to cut the video to get this off, so I can use both hands. Maybe not. All right, so the whole thing just comes out in one piece. There she is. Okay, now next part, I'm gonna spill some oil here on the garage. Just a sec here, guys. All right, guys, so make sure that all you have to do is unscrew this, it pops out, and then you tighten it back into the filter housing. Okay, then we're gonna take this old O-ring off here, put the new O-ring on. I'm gonna put a little ring of oil around it just so it can go back in the housing good. And then I'm gonna switch out this for the old one, okay? The crush washer on the oil drain bolts. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, and then I'll get going back again. All right, here's the new filter, getting ready to put it back in. I put a small bit of oil around this new rubber O-ring, and we're gonna get it put back in, guys. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, got the new one set back in place. Always make sure, guys, that with stuff like this, you get it hand tight with your hand and make sure you're not cross-threading it, because if you start harping on this thing and it's not sitting there straight, you can easily strip these threads out. So I've already got it in there, but I'm gonna back it out just so you guys can see straight. Make sure it's going in there straight, and tighten it till you can't tighten it with your hand anymore. And I'm gonna use the rest of the ways. This is what I've been using. This is the tool I'm using, right? And then I'm putting the crescent wrench on the end of it just to get more torque once it gets hard. So that's how I'm doing that part, guys. Side note, guys, both parts need to be torqued down to either 25 newton meters or 18.5 foot-pounds of torque. So if you're a torque monkey, you you'd like to do that, those are the specs. So I just got that tightened down. I'm gonna do the same for the oil filter plug in just a moment. Don't forget to get your engine rags out of there and make sure that you wipe up any grease if you dropped any. And then head to the bottom of the car and throw in the oil drain plug. All right, we got the drain plug put back in, got all the stuff taken out of the bottom of the car. Now we're gonna go ahead and lower the car down to ground level. All right, we got the car on the ground, everything's done under the car. Don't forget, guys, that this car takes 6.5 liters, okay? Not 6.5 quarts. So it's actually 6.9 if you go by the quarts. So since we have 1 liters, we're gonna do 6.5 of these. Make sure you take your funnel and clean it thoroughly with, I used brake parts cleaner inside and out. I did that twice just to make sure there's absolutely nothing dirty that contaminate your fresh oil that's sitting on the filter or sitting on the funnel that's been sitting in your dirty garage. So I'm gonna go ahead and add these quarts of oil. I'll be right back in just a moment. All right, so after you're all done, start the car, make sure there's no leaks under it. And then after you've driven it for a while, your oil temperature needs to get up to normal, which it's not right now, but just for sake, I'm gonna show you where you need to go to check the oil level through the car. So under My Vehicle, go to Vehicle Status, and you just click over here to the oil one, click that, and then you click Measure Engine Oil, and then you'll just start measurement. It takes some time. You need to be parked on flat ground. And like I said, your oil needs to be up to temperature to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that after I drive around for a bit, and then that part will be done, and we'll make sure that our engine oil is right where it needs to be. All right, just got done with the, wow, that's pretty cool. So it shows the minimum and max, and it looks like we're at the perfect amount. So 6.5 was exactly what it needed, guys. All right, we're all done here. Thanks for watching. All right, and the last thing to do, guys, is to have the car engine off, but the button on to where everything's lit up. We're gonna hold this button 3 different times. So we're gonna hold it down now, hold it, wait for the screen to change. Now we're gonna let off. Find the engine oil right there. Okay, now I'm gonna hold it down again, reset, let off, push it and hold it again. There we go. Okay, now the car is reset on the oil, and we're good to go, guys. Just make sure you do the oil, check the oil level just to make sure that it's okay, because there's no dipstick on this car. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe, click like, or put any comments if you guys would like to. And subscribe if you want to see more BMW 440i content. Thanks, guys.